We swapped out our 3-year-old 30,000 mile F-450 dually for a brand new one, and it didn't cost us a dime. How do we pull that off? Let's talk about it. That's right, the total cost of upgrading to this brand new Ford F-450 was $0. And I'm not talking about 0% down with a deferred payment plan or any sort of gimmick like that. We literally paid no money at all, and we took on no additional payments. Nothing. Not only that, but our overall net worth actually increased by over $10,000 as soon as I signed the paperwork. So how does that work? Aren't used vehicles supposed to depreciate? So you don't want to buy a brand new vehicle, because as soon as you drive that off the lot, you're gonna lose a lot of money. That's just the way it works. But these are the 2020s, man. Logic doesn't apply anymore. And that's the way we like it. To be clear, we absolutely loved our 2019 model. We had no complaints, and we really had no reason or urge to upgrade. But as the used vehicle market started to go haywire in late 2021, I couldn't help but follow along. Month after month, the trade-in value for our truck just kept creeping higher and higher. By early 2022, I was getting cash offers for $85,000, which was a little more than we'd originally paid for it brand new over 3 years ago. It was pretty ridiculous to think we'd driven the heck out of this thing, pulling our house back and forth all over the country, wearing down the brakes, wearing down the tires, accumulating rock chips, and it hadn't lost a single dollar in value. If I sold it right then and there, I'd get all of our money back, and it'd be like we had a free 3-year truck rental, which was fun to think about, but it didn't actually matter. I mean, we still needed the truck, and we still wanted it. So the fact that it hadn't depreciated at all over the past 3 years was cool and all, but it didn't actually benefit us because we weren't going to sell it. At the same time though, I was noticing that inflation hadn't yet caught up with the MSRPs of brand new vehicles. And so slowly I started to notice this huge opportunity brewing. I realized if I could lock in $85,000 for our current truck and then immediately turn around and buy a brand new one for the same price, Ford would essentially be giving us a free 3-year upgrade. The catch was there were hardly any trucks available on the lots, and the ones that were available had huge markups added onto them by the dealerships. So the only way to lock in a vehicle at MSRP pricing was to custom order it from the factory. And because of all of the supply chain issues, the wait time for a factory ordered F-450 was around 8 months. I knew it'd be a long shot, but if my inflated trade-in value could hold for that long, I knew I'd be golden. So I got to work blasting out the same email to 20+ internet sales managers at volume dealers across the Southeast, saying I wanted to place a custom order for a 2022 F-450 as soon as possible and was simply looking for the lowest overall price. Most of them replied saying they need to charge thousands over MSRP, but a few of them said they'd be willing to sell at MSRP, which is all I needed to make this deal work. Even with all of the, you're not gonna find a dealer that's getting close to MSRP right now. I mean, just to be real, you're not gonna find a discount in this market. We need a $1,000 deposit, and no, that is not refundable. Within 2 days, I found a dealer in Charlotte, North Carolina, who agreed to sell for nearly $5,000 below MSRP, and the only thing they required to place the order was a refundable $500 deposit. I figured worst case scenario, I'd miss the golden window, the market would correct, my trade-in value would drop down to its normal level, and I'd just get my deposit refunded and move on, still happy with our 2019. Nothing to lose, right? So I locked in their offer and placed the order in January of 2022. And sure enough, 8 months later, I received an email from Ford letting me know my truck had been built, and a few weeks later, it was delivered to the dealer. I couldn't believe this was actually working out, but I needed to move quick because the trade-in value of our truck was starting to drop week by week. And not only that, but over those 8 long months of waiting, Ford had announced 2 separate price increases, bringing the MSRP of the new truck up by over $3,700 additional dollars. Luckily though, because we'd locked in the order with a deposit in January, we were able to take advantage of Ford's price protection program, and our original price was still honored by the dealer. So in the end, considering the originally agreed upon sales price and the 2 price increases, we received right at $8,500 off the current MSRP, which is over a 9% discount. And this is when most dealers were charging thousands over MSRP. I couldn't believe it. It just goes to show how corrupt the overall dealer franchise system can be, and it's a perfect example of why universal direct-to-consumer pricing is gonna absolutely take over in the future. No discounts, no haggling, just like if you were to buy a brand new vehicle from Tesla online or a used car from Carvana or CarMax. So even though our trade-in value had dropped by a few $1,000s over that time period, we were still able to do an even swap. And because the fair market value of the new truck was now $95,000 after driving it off the lot, and yes, that's more than the original MSRP, our equity technically increased by over $10,000 as soon as I signed the paperwork. Unprecedented times, man. So that's why we upgraded our truck. Again, we absolutely loved our 2019, but when the used car market started to go insane, I couldn't help but take advantage of it. Now, the only concern we did have when making this decision is, would the 22 model have worse build quality than the 2019, considering all of the supply chain issues and all of the employee turnover over the past few years? But considering we were getting a complete reset in miles, tires, brakes, warranty, complimentary maintenance, and overall wear and tear, plus we'd be shaving over 3 years off the model year and increasing our overall equity in the vehicle, we decided it was worth the risk. And so far, so good. Sure, it was missing the F-450 emblem when it showed up to the dealer, but Ford said they'd simply ran out of them at the factory, and any dealer would be willing to put them on free of charge as soon as they got more in. And sure, one of the back hubcaps fell off in the first few hundred miles and flew across the highway, slamming into a parked car, but the dealership took care of it and sent us a brand new replacement. But other than that, all good. I guess we'll see.